And good morning, everybody. Here we are back on Planet 417 with Bruce Porter, Dollars and Cents. We're going to talk about IRAs and 401ks right after this.
Putting the client first. That was my main priority some 20 years ago when I started the Resource Center, and it remains my priority today. That's why I wrote Finding the Courage to Retire, to help guide you confidently along a journey that should be the most rewarding of your life, from creating sustainable income and preservation strategies to understanding Social Security, Medicare, and much more. This book is the retirement roadmap you need. To get your free copy, just call or email our office today.
And we are back. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah.
Glad you're here.
Traffic's kind of nuts, so if you get out, drive careful.
Yeah, no kidding.
Everybody knows the back roads.
Everybody knows the back roads. Honestly, most of the time, the construction zone's not that bad.
No, you get through pretty quick, but
Yep.
everybody thinks they can, go out to 186 or,
170.
Yeah, it's pretty congested this morning, so just be careful if you're out there. I mean, there's a lot of traffic around.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 18 minutes to get here.
Retirement
That's all right.
planning. These are all tax qualified accounts that we've talked about.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about Roth 401ks versus Roth IRAs. Which one's going to give you the most retirement money down the road, and kind of the pros and cons of each one. I mean, the Roth 401k just came out here in the last 12 months.
Well, I was going to say, I didn't even know about that.
Right.
That's a new one on me.
Well, people were kind of in demand. They wanted some tax-free retirement options through their 401k, and so it was the powers to be made that happen.
Well, let's first start. What's the difference between a 401k and an IRA to begin with?
Let's just jump right into it.
All right.
Click, 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 click. All right. Roth 401k, that's an employer-sponsored plan. So just like a regular 401k, that's a traditional sponsored employer plan. Now, when you make a contribution to a traditional 401k, it is pre-tax. So it lowers your taxable income, so you can have retirement money that you take out pre-tax. Well, that's all well and good until you retire. Then it's all taxable when you pull it out.
Even the growth in income.
That's right. So that's traditional 401k. So Roth 401k goes in after tax, so it doesn't affect your taxable income. It doesn't help you. It leaves it where it is. So it's after tax contributions.
It doesn't help you on your current tax obligation.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if you're on $100,000 a year, and if you were in a regular 401k making a maximum contribution, you would be $70,000 of taxable income. In a Roth 401k, you can make that same $30,000 contribution if you're above age 50, but you're still paying income tax on $100,000 of income.
Right, yeah.
So that can make a difference when you're in a higher wage position. So those are the things to think about. Now, the Roth IRA is just a traditional, like we've had. You can make a contribution, et cetera. Now, let's contributions made after tax dollars, both of them. Contributions or tax status is tax-free. Contribution limits, you can put more money in a Roth 401k, $22,500 or $30,000 if you're above age 50. But in a Roth IRA that you set up on your own, max contribution limits are $6,500 or $7,500 a year if you're age 50 or above.
Let me ask you a question about that. Now, that contribution limit on the Roth 401k, I see there's an employer match. Does that mean the total contribution is $22,500 or $30,000?
Your contribution.
So I could put in 30,000 because I'm 52, and my employer could also put in 30,000.
Yeah, if they did 100% match on
Right.
maximum, which I don't know of anybody.
Well, my employer is pretty generous that way.
Yeah, yours is. But you're exactly right. So you could you could get a match. Typically, those matches are going to be from anywhere to 3 to 10%. Some employers are a little bit more, generous. Now, I do know an employer that I dealt with recently that offers Roth 401k and traditional 401k, but they don't offer any match because they retained pension options also for their employees. So sometimes the benefit package, while it may appear to be a little bit not as generous, you got to look at the overall benefit package because they didn't realize they had pension options in addition to what they were putting in their 401k. Wow. So there's lots of different things to look at. So now when we look at the income limits, there's no income limit on a Roth 401k. So you could be a high wage earner and still make contributions to the Roth 401k. But if you're just doing a contribution to a Roth IRA, the income limits are out there. I believe 138,000 single, then they phase out 223, give or take, if you're married filing jointly. Loans are available in a Roth 401k, potentially. Different employer plans have different rules. They are not available in a Roth IRA. Investment options are limited to the plan itself. The Roth 401k, they're going to already have a company that is basically managing the overall account that will make those options available. Your Roth IRA, that's up to you and your financial guy. You're going to pick the tool that you want to invest in, and then those tools are going to have different investment options. Early withdrawals in a Roth 401k, can't do it. You're going to incur taxes and penalties, but in a Roth IRA, you can always take out your contributions. Now, let me qualify that. Your contributions have no tax or penalties to pull it out. But depending on the tool that you use, you may have some sort of a charge for early withdrawal, like an annuity.
Like a CD or something.
Or CD. You might have a Roth IRA CD that's a 3-year CD because you want a higher rate.
And of course, all CDs have a penalty for early withdrawal.
And those penalties renew on every term. So when you pull that out, you may pay a 3 or 6 month penalty. An annuity, another example, you may have a 5-10 year annuity that you're limited withdrawals. Your contributions are always tax-free, but you may be bound by the terms of the contract. Another thing to remember with Roth of any type, you have a 5-year window. You have to have your Roth established for 5 years before it becomes tax-free.
So one other question I have for you right here. Can you have, if your employer sponsors it, can you have both a Roth 401k and a traditional 401k?
That is an awesome question. Evidently, you're an attorney.
And you're going to get back to us on that, right?
No, I've got the answer.
Oh, good job.
Yes, the answer is yes, you can. The contribution limits apply.
Okay.
So
you can't double your contribution that way.
No, if you're married filing jointly, over age 50,
60 grand.
30,000 in your 401k Roth, you can. What was your question?
So you
Yes,
do both?
I got it. It came back. You can put money in your Roth 401k and a traditional Roth IRA. You can't put $37,500
Combined.
You can put $30,000. That's your maximum limit if you're
no matter how many
married filing
401ks
jointly
you
above
have.
age 50. That's right. Now, the $30,700 might be in the Roth IRA. $22,500 would be in the 401k Roth, and you would be able to do that.
Yep.
And I believe that also applies to traditional IRA, versus 401k, you're limited by the contribution limits established by the IRS. So that's how that goes. Now, back to the pros and cons, and we'll circle this horse back to the barn. Tax-free qualified withdrawals, that's a big pro. No income limits for higher contribution limits for higher earners. Potential employer match. So like we were discussing a minute ago, yeah, if you had a generous employer, you could really maximize your contributions into your Roth 401k. Limited availability, because you may have penalties and taxes if you take that out prematurely. Limited investment options are going to be based on whatever the plan offers. There will be fees on a Roth 401k. Typically, they're not very big. They're pretty minimal because investment companies that manage these larger accounts have reduced costs to the employer. And with a Roth 401k, you have limited accessibility. Now, with a Roth IRA, you've got a little bit more flexibility. You and your broker or your investment guy, you're going to be setting up your Roth IRA. You're going to establish what tool you're going to use, and you're going to determine how you want to invest that. You can make contributions at any time. Access to the contributions is available because you can pull out your contributions. You can't pull out the growth prior to 59 and a half, but you can pull out your contributions. Now, there's other rules. We'll do a show another day. If you're disabled, if you're things like that, you can have access to all of that. Now, the cons on the Roth, the Roth IRA, there's no employer match because it's you and you alone. There are income limits that apply. They phase you out. There's lower contribution limits. You can only put, if you're above age 50, maximum 75. If you're below age 50, 6,500. And it may require a little bit more maintenance. You may have to do your own thing. You may have to do your own service,
Sure.
So that's kind of where
That
it's at.
is a ton of good information, Bruce. That's probably one of my favorite shows that you've ever
Well,
done here.
that's a lot. So here's the point. If you need something, let's chat about it. Give me a call. Let's just take a look and let's discuss your situation and send us a message here at K-ROG 417 Planet 417 or 882-1800 or whatever you want to do.
Let's get together and talk.
Yeah, might as well.
Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Join us next week for more Dollars and Cents.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AE Wealth Management and the Resource Center, Inc. are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet a particular need of an individual situation. The Resource Center, Inc. is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this podcast shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein, provided by third parties, have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by the Resource Center, Inc. This podcast is a paid placement.